Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem. The Dream. The Dream. Yes, I'm a little congested today because I am getting over some respiratory infections. I was a little sick for the last week, but I got to take it easy, baby. If you guys are watching us live or you guys drop in later, you guys can drop a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll get the notifications for every time we go live on Facebook and on YouTube. So, what do you guys want to talk about? But let's talk about. I'm going to talk about what's been happening for the last few weeks. Waiting for Jey McMahon to come on. If he don't come on, then we're gonna ride this out for the next 30 minutes and just kind of talk about some interesting topics. But yeah, right now we have CM Punk. Just got finished watching SmackDown. CM Punk came out and he wanted to address some things, or not, let me not say some things, but some people. Those people that he decided to address indirectly, with all sarcasm and indirect humor, was punching Jack Perry. Is Jack Perry? I think it's Jack Perry. Jungle Boy punching him in the face. He made a sly comment in reference to Kevin Owens, teaming up with Kevin Owens and saying, it wouldn't be my best interest to team up with somebody who randomly punches people in the face backstage, which is what he did to Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, which was the reason why he was fired from AEW. And he makes the comment. So, of course, Fox and TKO and, the big wigs are okay with CM Punk being a little CM Punkish. But it was very interesting just to hear CM Punk, just be very crafty in his promo. I thought it was really good. How he indirectly said, we could talk about people who are here. Or he said, what do you want me to talk about? Who do you want me to talk about? That was very, interesting, very crafty in how he did it in a roundabout way where the mind can wander into everybody being excited or wanting him to address what happened with the incident backstage at AEW as to why he was terminated. And he didn't, he played on that, and then he goes into talking, and then he goes into saying we could talk about people who are not here, as he says, talk about people who are not here. And the person he mentions, as he says that, is not, Jack Perry or anybody from AEW, because he played on that, but the person he mentions is Roman Reigns, right? Everybody cheers because, he goes and he talks about how he's, wants to be that guy that enters the Royal Rumble, who throws everybody over the top rope in main events at WrestleMania, which I don't want to see, honestly. If he main events at WrestleMania, I'm cool with that. If he wins a Royal Rumble, I'm like, I feel like the opportunity can go to somebody else. I wouldn't really be mad about it, but I wouldn't be too excited about it either. But the biggest news, and I feel like I'm more excited about, I'm actually honestly more excited about Randy Orton's return than I am about CM Punk's return. More excited for CM Punk's return. For Randy Orton's return than I am for CM Punk's return, honestly speaking. Monday Night Raw. So we didn't talk about Monday Night Raw this week. We didn't have any other shows other than this one this week. But Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw. I'm trying to remember exactly what was the big thing I wanted to address or wanted to deal with. Yes. So, their build on Jey Uso and what is this guy named Drew McIntyre is very interesting. How Drew McIntyre is getting his revenge on Jey. And it's almost like Jey is paying the debt. He's paying the debt that's somewhat owed to the likes of Drew McIntyre for Drew McIntyre losing out on that opportunity. And you have other wrestlers who are targeting him, and I think that's only fair, and it makes the most sense for the storyline, which I like. This was like a few years ago. That angle would be totally ignored, but the fact that we actually have the storyline progressing in a way where Drew McIntyre is getting his revenge on Jey for what the Bloodline did to him, and preventing him from actually winning the championship is actually pretty good. I like it. So the development in the stories have been the best so far. Everything makes sense. Even Drew stating his case, giving his opinion, giving his view about, how he was wrong and how he was unjustly, in this particular case. Jay McMahon is in the place. So the storylines have been honestly the storylines are working very well. You see how Drew McIntyre is slowly but surely developing into the Scottish psychopath. Like it's with a reason. So it's the slow build, the slow his character fully developing. But I honestly want Jey Uso to get revenge on Drew. Not get revenge on Drew, but just kind of like start winning matches against Drew. Fairly. They're trying to build Drew. And it's almost like they're still trying to build Drew strong, but he's not getting over with the crowd. He's not. The crowd does not care. If 2 years ago the crowd cared, and I'm gonna say this, and this is interesting. I said this. Me and someone was having a conversation, and me and my wife was having a conversation because she watches wrestling or whatever. Me and Jay probably would have had this conversation. I probably would have mentioned this to him, but I'm going to mention it now. And I think sometimes I need to not have these conversations with you guys because it takes away from me actually sharing it on these lives. But I wanted to say that I feel like part of the reason why Drew McIntyre is not getting over with the fans now could be a slight resentment towards the lack of the lack of Dolph Ziggler's build when they were teamed together, and how Drew McIntyre was teamed with Dolph in a tag team, and to be on the side of Dolph Ziggler just for Dolph to be overlooked, to be a Royal Rumble winner, go on to face Brock, win a world championship, and you have Dolph Ziggler who's been there, who's stuck with the company longer than Drew has not been terminated, has been loyal, has been faithful to the company, putting on great matches, putting over great superstars, and has not yet received that same opportunity. I think the last world championship match Dolph Ziggler had was against Triple H on an episode of SmackDown, or episode of Raw.
No, he fought Braun Breaker for the NXT title.
I'm sorry. I was talking about main roster titles, Jay.
Oh, my bad.
I'm about to say like, I mean, he won the title. I'm not saying like the title don't count, but I'm just saying like, I mean, in regards to, like main, like, just him actually getting that, main event, big time title match. The last match, I believe it was against Triple H. I think it was either a world title match or it was just a match. Um, but I can't remember any. No. I'm sorry. The last world title match Dolph Ziggler had was against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre gave him 2 or 3 title shots, where of course Drew McIntyre wins. Um, and Dolph never really got this. So I feel like part of the fans going against Drew McIntyre partly is a lot of the fans kind of feel like, kind of the reason why you're kind of a success is because, you know, you were like Dolph was used to give you that heat that was supposed to go to him. And it went to you because you guys teamed together and you were that guy who was there at that time who kind of made sense or was kind of just good to pull the trigger on to go over and eliminate Brock and then eliminate the Royal Rumble. But even when he won the Royal Rumble, I still felt like it didn't feel right. It still didn't feel right. I felt like it still was too early and it wasn't the right time. And I felt like it would have made more sense if Dolph Ziggler would at least held the belt. And the funny thing is, Dolph Ziggler never really had to hold the belt for like a whole year, even 8 months. Like they could have given Dolph Ziggler a nice 6 month, 5 month, 4 month title reign. You know what I'm saying? And just allow Ziggler, just give Ziggler the opportunity. But the fact they never gave Ziggler the opportunity, I felt like part of his rejection from the crowd is a resentment.
You think that?
You said what?
You think so?
I think partly. I don't think like if we're talking about a percentage, if we're saying like from 1 to 100, I'm saying like at least 35% of that is a small bit of resentment of Drew McIntyre. Besides the fact that he during the pandemic.
So I disagree. I think the fans is not really getting with Drew McIntyre, and I'm gonna reference this to Toy Story.
Why is that?
You know how when Andy first got Woody, he was the best toy in the yard. He was Andy's favorite.
Right.
And that's how it was when Drew, you know what I'm saying, started to become a babyface with the countdown before the Claymore. Drew was Andy. I mean, Drew was Woody. He took the belt from Brock, and we was hyped. We was happy. You know what I'm saying? That was his moment. But it was during COVID, which he constantly reminds us about. But then after a while, it's like, all right, Andy got tired of Woody. Like, all right, he's cool, but I want to play. I want new toys. I want to, you know what I'm saying? So Drew kind of like became boring and stale. Like, yeah, he was a champ, but then it's like his title reigns became boring. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, all right, well, you're not. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to. Then when he dropped the belt, we're like, all right, we don't want to see you with the belt again. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. So now it's like he's just there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't think it is more so to do with Dolph. I just feel like we just like. I mean, after a while, he probably needs a character change because we never liked when they kept calling him the Scottish Warrior. Then he brought out the sword. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of made us like, oh my God, his you know what I'm saying? And then his intro had the flaming sword, which made it even more cheesy. So he's like, you know what? Enough.
Right. Enough is enough. So I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I just have a percentage about this, right? I feel like what you say, I feel like out of 100, I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like Dolph Ziggler resentment is like 35%. I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong, but that's just my personal take because personally I kind of feel like that. But I feel like what you say is a large percent of it. But here's the other thing, though. Here's the other thing I would like to contribute to that is that we seen a difference, right? Pandemic did not matter about his ability to be a charismatic champion to continue to keep our interest as a performer, right? And we seen a difference when Randy was feuding with him during the pandemic. Randy was on fire. It was like no doubt that Randy was on fire. Randy came in, he was shooting his promos, and we were just like, yo, like it was like, no, I want like it was just like immediately, yo, take the belt off of Drew and put it on Randy. Put it on Randy. And and Vince even noticed it, and creative seen it enough to say, you know what, we're gonna do that. We're gonna take the belt off of Drew and put it on Randy. So because Randy's hot right now, so if Drew beats Randy, then when Drew beats Randy, maybe that'll ignite or kind of fuel something or fuel that same thing that Randy has on him on Drew, and Drew will get it, and Drew will be more of an entertaining and compelling performer. But it didn't work. He was still boring. He's still stale. And then not only that, but even now, right? Even in him getting his revenge, the crazy thing about it is that he's 100% right about what he says concerning Jimmy. I mean, sorry, concerning Jay. The fans don't care. We don't really care. um, the second thing is that he's looking like a crybaby, right? He's almost in retrospect, he looks like Dolph Ziggler when Dolph Ziggler was coming out to Kofi and saying it should have been me. Like it should have been me. He's literally doing the same thing Dolph did when Dolph was coming out, cutting those promos to Kofi, saying it should have been me, it should have been me. And now he's coming out and he's doing the same thing, like I should have been world champion. I should have been this, I should have been that, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And it's like, bro, listen, you had your two title reigns. And now by you just going through this whole thing about complaining about what you should have been, it's making you look whiny. And but what plays in his favor is if he just goes straight heel. And this is a story arc to turn him back to the Scottish psychopath. He turns back to the Scottish psychopath. I think he has more of a chance of being a heel, better off playing as a heel, going into that place of, listen, I try to come out here with the fans, and he comes out with an angle. I try to come out here, plead my case to you guys, hoping that you guys would be more supportive of the truth and injustice and what was unjustly done to me as someone, as a performer. But it's like you guys don't care. You don't care. And he
He's
just turned heel.
overall, his promos are okay. You know what I'm saying? His in ring work. I mean, he's cool in the ring, but it's just like he's not entertaining. Like if you say Drew McIntyre's gonna be in the main event, you'd be like, eh. You know what I'm saying? It's a ton of other guys, not even the top tier guys. There's a ton of other guys that I would rather see watching the main event over Drew, and that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like I'm not at all stalked of seeing like Drew McIntyre in the main event. When Drew McIntyre was champion, I didn't care. I really didn't care. Seth Rollins champion. There's certain performers, like they'll get the belt. I don't really care. Like I'm like, all right, he got the belt. Like, all right, he got the belt. I don't care. Like I don't care to cheer for him. I don't care to boo him. He's there. He's there. Like if he puts on a good match, all right, great match.
Yeah.
Will I talk and remember his title reign? I will talk about it, but I won't. He won't be one of like my favorites or whatever to remember or talk about.
I honestly feel that he needs a character change. You know what I'm saying? Like because his character now is stale and boring. You know what I'm saying? So he needs now maybe if he goes back to the old Drew with his old theme song and stuff like that. Maybe that'll what I'm saying. Maybe that'll kind of like spark the interest again. But the current construction of Drew, you know what I'm saying, is just like not feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, for instance, look at Baron Corbin. You know what I'm saying? But he was hella boring on the main roster. He goes down to NXT, you know what I'm saying, with the same boring gimmick. Then he switched it back to the Lone Wolf for like a couple matches. Now he has this whole another gimmick. Now he's still kind of boring, you know what I'm saying, because his in ring work isn't that good. But he's all right. It's something different. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like in this industry, you have to be different. You have to bring something different to the table. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep doing the same thing for years on out and expect people to, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, he's still the same Drew. What was it, 3 years ago when he beat Brock?
Yeah.
Nothing different about his character.
Yeah, nothing at all. Honestly, like I seen a small clip with Baron Corbin, and I feel like Baron Corbin should be the next person to win the NXT title, and that should be and that could be a point to where they build him up to go back on the main roster. I mean, I like Baron. I mean, I didn't like at first. I did not like Baron Corbin. Oh my god, he was so corny. But after a while, when I started to watch his growth, I was like, okay, okay, okay,
Nah,
okay, Corbin, okay, okay. Now I'm like, I can get with this. I can get with this comfortable. I feel like he's identifying who he is now. He's identifying more of what makes sense to him and how he should come across to everyone.
I ain't gonna front. Like the lone wolf with the long hair in NXT, I actually like that Baron Corbin. You know what I'm saying? When he came into main roster, he was cool. But once he cut his hair and became corporate Corbin, it was like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like after that, they just couldn't find nothing. Happy Corbin, bum ass Corbin, whatever they try to do after that, it's just never was like, all right, this is it, this is the guy.
I think bum ass Corbin was entertaining.
It was.
He was the most entertaining.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple articles here, but we're gonna read. I'm gonna go through those like toward the end of the show. And just talk about those different things. But yeah, CM Punk. Do you want to see CM Punk win the Royal Rumble?
Yes, and I say yes because
why?
Because all right, and I mean, as you know, Sean say all the time, long term storytelling. Now, granted, it's victim of circumstance, long term storytelling, but to see him come out, win the Rumble, something he hasn't ever done. You know what I'm saying? So they could be like, all right, you won the Rumble, shut up. Now you get the main event, Royal Rumble. I mean, main Mania. So now you really need to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Right now he's the most exciting. He's right now the shiny new toy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then a promo he kind of shot on Seth. Obviously, that's where we already know that he's going. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that gives him that little way of fighting. You know what I'm saying? Seth, and then as we always said, it saves Cody because we don't want Cody to win a Rumble again, and the fans turn on him. You know what I'm saying, for winning twice in a row.
Well, why would you turn on Cody if you won twice in a row? No one's going to guarantee him a match. No one is going to guarantee him a title match against either Seth or Roman, but more than likely Roman, where he can complete the story.
Look, I wouldn't. I mean, ultimately I still want Cody to fight Roman, but I want him to find another path to do so. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the WWE universe is fickle. You know what I'm saying? And once they feel a type of way, they show it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like if Cody wins the Rumble again, they're gonna feel like Cody's being forced on us. This how we felt with Roman a couple years ago. Just how we felt with Austin Theory. It's how we felt with Drew to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So yeah, like let Cody find another way to finish the story without winning the Rumble again. He done it. He can add that to one of his list of accomplishments. Then cool. You know what I'm saying? Now Punk. You know what I'm saying? Now Punk can win the Rumble. So now that adds to his legacy. He's Royal Rumble winner. He's Money in the Bank winner. He's you know what I'm saying? He's headline WrestleMania. So it kind of builds his legacy. So when he eventually retires, and it kind of builds, you know what I'm saying, his legacy a little bit more. Because again, as I was telling my girl, like, you know what I'm saying, they WWE has a way of, when you do them dirty or they feel a type of way about you, they can honestly make people forget about you. You know what I'm saying? Because
or they can, or what they'll do is one thing I noticed they'll do is they'll use you like Cody. Like, even though like WWE did salute and they did recognize and did respect, and they respected what Cody did in AEW, but Cody still had to eat some crow. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're gonna give you, you hot right now. You came back at WrestleMania the year before. You had a great match against Seth, and then you won the Royal Rumble. All right, great, great, great. Now we're going to put you in the main event against Roman at the next WrestleMania, but you're going to lose. So there was some crow that Cody had to eat. Like, it's a build up to a letdown because they still used him. Like, we're going to use you in a great match. We're going to use you in a Royal Rumble to give everybody a great climax at a Royal Rumble. We're going to use you for the climax at WrestleMania, only for everybody to buy into the show, but to be let down.
Right, and then again at the same time, like I said, when I said the WWE has a way of having, because I don't even think they really mentioned when Roman got to like 500 days. I don't even think they mentioned CM Punk as the longest reigning champion at the time. You know what I'm saying? So now when you mention the longest reigning champion, obviously Roman's name is going to be up there. And even with Nikki Bella, you know what I'm saying? Like they was like, all right, Nikki Bella was the longest reigning women's champ. Cool. Let's have somebody take that reign or that, you know what I'm saying, or that accolade. So therefore, we don't got to mention Nikki Bella anymore. So now, when we talk about longest reign, now you're going to reference Bianca Belair. You know what I'm saying? So now that Punk is back, now you can kind of go back and touch base. Now, would I like to see Roman versus Punk at some point? Absolutely, but just not yet.
Yeah, I don't want to see Roman versus Punk, not yet. I don't know if Roman even wants to do business with him.
I think he does.
Excuse me. I think, honestly, because the money right now, they're looking at it like, all right, this is the money. The money for WrestleMania is have Seth versus Punk at Mania. That's the money. Have Cody versus Roman at Mania. That's the money. Cody goes over. Punk loses to Seth. He gets his main event, but he doesn't win. I don't want Punk to win. I'm being honest with you. I do not want Punk to win a title right now. If he wins a title, I feel like fans are probably going to love it. They're going to like it because fans are sitting there eating this up, this whole CM Punk thing up right now. But I don't think he should win the title. It's too soon. Same way how I felt in AEW. He came back. They slapped the title. He came back. He was only there for like 8 months, 9 months. They decided to slap a title on him, and it was just like, all right, here we go with this, BS. Like, all right, so, but that's where the two money matches are, two big money matches. Another money match could be, and I definitely think that this will be a great money match, is Gunther versus Seth. Yeah. Gunther wins the Royal Rumble. He challenges Seth Rollins. No triple threat match. Seth Rollins. If they don't do Punk and Seth, they might just do Punk and Seth at the Royal Rumble and just say, all right, we'll just give you guys the match here. But I personally would want to see the next winner of the Royal Rumble be Gunther, so that he goes on to challenge Seth, takes the title off Seth, and becomes the first world heavyweight and intercontinental champion, simultaneously. He'll be the second person in WWE history to ever hold the intercontinental. Well, he'll be the first person in WWE history to hold the world heavyweight championship and the intercontinental championship.
Right. Now, I can see them doing that only if they can somehow talk Stone Cold into coming back to have that match with Punk. That'd be the only way I can see them going that route.
Right, to kind of like take the attention off of a Seth and Punk match, a match that's more desirable than Punk and Seth.
Right. So if Gunther doesn't win, I see Gunther versus Brock at Mania.
Well, there was an article that was written not too long ago where Gunther was asked about Brock, and he said that he actually wants that match. He said he's not avoiding it. He said that's a match that he actually wants to happen. He says it's inevitable. Right. And he said that's a match that he's looking forward to happening. I think it'll be very interesting to watch a Gunther and a Brock match, just to watch those two go at it. Hopefully we get it. We never got a Sheamus versus Brock on live TV. They fought at a live event, but they never fought on live TV. We never got and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a Sheamus fan, but I would be very interested in watching Sheamus versus Brock. And
you're making Sean so proud right now.
Sean is very proud. Sean is probably salivating right now at the fact that I'm mentioning this. but again, again, it's always a good match can bring or pique the interest in characters you're not really interested in. Like, what would be a good match that would make me a lot more interested in Damian Priest? Him versus Undertaker.
Priest versus Taker.
Yeah, Priest versus Taker. Like, I'd be a little bit more like that would pique a little bit more characters who have a great parallel to another. You know what I'm saying? Like Brock Lesnar being a dominant champion, a dominant performer, Gunther being that dominant performer on the rise. He has, Gunther's rise is slower than Brock's, but yet you can respect it just as much. Brock, he performed for about a few months before he won a world title. Held it for a few months, then lost it. But then you have Gunther, who came in, didn't win a world's title, but won an intercontinental championship, but broke the record for being the longest reigning he's now the longest reigning intercontinental champion in WWE history. And that streak of dominance you can respect. So to see those two guys clash will be something of great interest, So, but who do you want to see win the Royal Rumble? Five Nights at Freddy. What's up, Five Nights?
What up? Like I said, now before Punk came back, I was all aboard with you. Like Gunther was like the surefire hands-on favorite to win it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and like I said, I don't know because I mean, like I said, right now Punk is hot, so the obvious way to build excitement is to have Punk, win it, and then then you'll have his promos will be crazy going into Mania, and him and Seth are gonna put on hella promos, and Seth is gonna reference AEW. At some point,
he's gonna say something. He's gonna say something spicy.
Yeah, so because and the crazy part about it, I was scrolling through something and I actually went back and listened to the promo he gave Cody when he referenced AEW with Cody, and I was just like, damn, that's
what did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna try to find it and send it to you, but he was like, he said, yo, you come here. He said, you was here, you couldn't cut it, so you left. You and your friends built up a company to try to tear down what I'm building over here, and then you try to come back, and he said then you take us. He said then you try to come back here where I live. Then outside of that, you take a sledgehammer to a throne to try to take the throne that I'm sitting on. It doesn't work like that. So something to that effect. But I was just like,
and this is what Punk is saying.
No, that's what Seth told Cody when they was feuding.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if he said that about Cody, like I already know he's gonna say something hella spicy and a jaw dropper when him and Punk have promos against each other.
That was the first time when I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a CM Punk fan, but that was the first time in a long time that I was actually on the side of Seth Rollins when he was cursing out CM Punk. He's like, no, F you, man. No, F you. Like, that was the first time I was on the side of Seth because I understood why Seth was mad. I got it. It made sense. Beside the beef, just the simple fact that, he burnt bridges with WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get and again, I still understood why CM Punk did it. I agree with CM Punk to a certain degree, but there were certain things that CM Punk, as a somewhat respected self-proclaimed leader or a person who's trying to make change, should have done. Truth be told,
right? You said it numerous times on the show.
Right. But one thing I failed to mention too, also in that, was that when he left, all the promos he cut on WWE, burying WWE. Right. He goes over to AEW, right? Has his issues with AEW, right? Gets fired, comes back to WWE, and now it's like Punk is Seth is mad because it's almost like, bro, like almost like you're being rewarded for being a toxic employee, and then you're coming back here and getting that same opportunity that would not be so easily given to everybody else, and we're supposed to just welcome you with open arms when your response ever since you've been gone and ever since you've been away from the company toward the company has always been negative to burying the company, and now you come back and we're supposed to be happy you're back.
Right, that,
No.
right, and Seth said it. He was like, he said you leave and you make your life or you build a career on tearing down a company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then now all of a sudden you want to come back, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he called him, he's a hypocrite. It was like
No, he but
called him, and I was just like,
but he yeah, I agree. Yeah, and again, that's the bitter taste in my that's the bitter taste in my mouth about Punk. Even though I like him, that's the thing that's turning me off about him. Because now when I look at him on the screen, I'm like, dude, like you were so self-righteous about what you believed, and you said so many negative things about WWE. Now, what I would have respected was if CM Punk would have tried to make more of amends in his interviews. Like if he would have said, like, voice and state your grievances, but yet also voice and just as loud as your grievances are should have been the positive things, or should have been measures of compromise. Like CM Punk never mentioned anything about trying to compromise anything with the WWE of possibly coming back. It was always, I'll never be back, I'll never come back to this company, you'll never get me to sign, f them forever. So now he looks hypocritical because it's like Vince is gone, but at the same time, you're saying you would never come back under any circumstance, and now the circumstance has presented itself, and you're here.
right.
So
But again, and like I said, I still stick to my reference when it comes to that. Like I feel like Punk, you know what I'm saying? That's like when you have that girl that you really love, you know what I'm saying, and you get together when y'all were young. It doesn't work out, so y'all break up, but you still love that person. You still want to be with that person, but they just like, nah, I'm good. I moved on. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. So you're gonna do everything in your power to make yourself feel good about the situation. So you're gonna badmouth her. Oh, she was doing this, so she ain't like cooking, she ain't like doing it, she ain't like da 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 da. But then, you know what I'm saying, you're chilling, you know what I'm saying, after years, you know what I'm saying, now you're single, she's single, you know what I'm saying, y'all see each other on Facebook, you like a post, you know what I'm saying, so y'all start interacting on social media, and then y'all start texting, and then the feelings start coming back, and she's like, hey, you know what, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, let's link up, you know what I'm saying, so now y'all started spending time together, rekindling those feelings. Now you get back with her and you're like, you know what? I should have never left. I'm saying, you're the love of my life. I really didn't want to leave. You know, I've been trying to get back for years, but you just wouldn't give me a chance. Now you got me. Now you gave me that chance. Now we're back together. I'm not messing that up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like what it was WWE. Like he deep down, he really wanted to come back, but WWE kept saying, nah, hell no, we good. Now we good, Phil. You know what I'm saying? So now,
the thing about it is if he the rumor so CM Punk's situation is similar to like Bret, right? Bret Hart. The rumor was that after Bret got injured in WCW, we know for sure, this is a fact, that Bret never wanted to leave WWE. We seen wrestling in the shadows. He never wanted to leave in the first place.
It's been told him to go.
Right. After WCW went under, Bret still, what I heard was, what I began to understand was that Bret was saying he still try to come back, but Vince would not let him back, and we know that the reason Vince didn't want him to come back was because that shame that Vince had to deal with for burying a loyal champion.
Like let's call it what it is, a loyal son. Vince, I mean, Bret looked up to the father.
And right. And that's a shame that Vince had to, because Vince had to look him in his eyes. Like I screwed you.
Right.
Every way. I screwed you out of money. I screwed you out of position. I screwed you out of a title. Everything that I could have given to you, I took away from you because for my own personal interest. And Vince knew that was something that he didn't want to look at.
Right.
But with Punk, it's kind of similar in the sense that um it's kind of, well, from what I heard from Punk's standpoint, I heard I don't think I heard any much. I don't think I heard too much rumors about Punk trying to come back. But if Punk was trying to come back prior to AEW, because there was rumors that saying that, oh, CM Punk is working out a deal with WWE. Even if he was trying to negotiate to come back, right? Every time he was in the media, or at times he was in the media, when those rumors circulated, he shot him down, sarcastic comments, and then when he actually was in a position of talking about WWE when he's in AEW, he buried the company.
Right. But I mean, I mean, if you think about it, every WWE guy except for Edge, and I'm not probably Christian.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, but everybody in WWE from WWE that went to AEW, they all had mouth, you know what I'm saying, the company. You know what I'm saying? Now I heard something similar but something different. I've heard that Punk never wanted to go to AEW. He always wanted to go to WWE, but WWE was like, nah, we good. So at that point, it's like, if you want to go back to the company and they tell you no, we're not interested, of course you're not going to be like, you're not going to go on, and because then you know what I'm saying, Punk has an ego. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his sign is, but he has an ego. So if he,
you say what?
The grievance and how he feels about,
wait, you say you don't know what, you say you don't know what his what is?
His sign.
He's a Scorpio.
Enough said. But
you're a Scorpio when you watching this.
So enough said.
You might be like CM Punk. No joking.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
you might be like
he doesn't want to look like a punk, or no pun intended, or soft, because he's, you know what I'm saying, kind of like begging to go back. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, he asked to go back behind the scenes. They kept telling him no. So now, no, I got to poke my chest out and make it seem like now I'm good. I'm better without them. I don't need them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, you know what I'm saying, he gets fired from AEW. But then I also heard too, both every time that before he went to AEW, he tried to go to WWE. Even when they had it backstage, WWE wasn't interested. He goes to AEW. He gets suspended. Then that's when we heard of rumors of him going and trying to having feelers and talking to the guys backstage to try to see how they interest if he can come back. They weren't feeling it, so he goes back to AEW. And we all know what happened when he went back. So now it's like, all right, I can't go back and start, praising a company because I'm not there. So I have to kind of badmouth him and make myself feel better. Now he's back. So now it's like, oh my God, I'm home. I should have never left. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm where I'm supposed to be for the whole time. This is the place where, I should have been. And and now you're super humble.
Right. And again, it takes because he was proud. His pride got in the way. And what Punk failed to realize was that the change you were trying to make, you had to be there in order to be the effect of that change. Like, perfect example, John Cena was at the height of his career, right? You had the Nexus, right? This is where the next hot thing that came onto the screen. The writers, built up had this great idea. They had the Nexus, had these newcomers come on the screen, come on the scene. They're beating up all the veterans. They're tearing up the arena. People are like, who are these guys? This is like the next coming of the NWO, but a younger group of guys, right? And it's like the best thing that can happen, but the thing that people don't want to see, but that we do want to see, and what could work in the favor, is to have Wade Barrett win a world title and have the Nexus hold the world title. They become the main attraction. You have to see. Now they have the world title, and it's like, wow, where are we going to go from here? And of course, the end of that storyline would be John Cena beating Wade Barrett at a WrestleMania, or beating him at a major show and taking the title back, right? Which would have been a perfect storyline. What happens? John Cena, being that guy, having that ability to make that happen, messed that opportunity up, realized his mistake, and realized, he said, you know what? He didn't realize, but when he realized he buried Wade Barrett, Because after that moment with Nexus, Wade Barrett got hot again when he was Bad News Barrett, but then they nixed the idea, which was a dumb idea. And then after that, it was just like, yo, like it was a struggle for Wade. You know what I'm saying? We're creative with Vince, but Cena just realized, he was like, yo, I just blew it. I blew it. And again, CM Punk could have been in that position. And then what John Cena did, to get to what I'm trying to say, is what John Cena did was he started to put on other talent, like, you know, Daniel Bryant and CM Punk and Kevin Owens and Cesaro, you know what I'm saying? And all the other younger guys, you know what I'm saying? So that way, you know, he could pay it forward, you know, Austin Theory. Who else is another person he put over? AJ Styles, like Seth Rollins. He was putting, then he realized, he's like, I need to start putting these guys over, because the change that I want as much as CM Punk wants, being that I have the power and I'm an attraction and I draw money, if I put these guys over and let these guys win these matches, you know what I'm saying, so that people can see their potential and Vince can see their potential, then Vince will see in me losing or me giving them that push. Maybe this guy is a top, maybe this guy could be a main draw. Maybe this guy can be. And then CM Punk pride wouldn't allow him to do that. His pride said, "Oh, I'm gonna walk out the door because I don't want to put nobody over and go badmouth the company and then complain about how the chairman is not doing it and he's stuck in his ways." And it was like, yeah, you're right, Punk. He is stuck in his ways, but the power you had just as much, but you had some level of influence where you could have helped, you know, induce that change.
Right. But again, you know what I'm saying? It's a young mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, now, and like I said, even for you referencing Cena, like Cena had to grow and really understand the business to be like, all right, I understand the importance of it now. Instead of it, like, I can't be Superman every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it makes sense now. Granted, like you said, like the storyline that you said would have been perfect, you know, because we haven't, like, outside of the Nexus, we haven't seen a gang like faction since the NWO, and the Nexus kind of gave us that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you put the belt on Wade Barrett. So then after that, you have all these, you know what I'm saying? You have everybody trying to take the belt from him, but obviously, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to beat a gang, you know what I'm saying? Because Nexus is going to interfere in some shape, form, or fashion. So then, you know what I'm saying, Cena, Superman at Mania somehow overcomes the odds. Because even and I'll give you a small sample of that. I forgot which Royal Rumble it was when Punk was the leader of the Nexus. And it was one point in the match that all the Nexus members was in the ring. And they was just eliminating, dominating everybody. And I want to say Cena came out and literally started eliminating them one by one. You know what I'm saying? So that moment right there was like, all right, this is one guy who's actually taking out, you know what I'm saying, this dominant faction that nobody can beat.
The whole roster.
Yeah, like even
the roster.
Like I'm saying, they put together so many 3-man teams to try to beat the Shield, and nobody can beat them. And the first time they actually finally lost, the fans lost, and like, finally somebody beat these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody was able to beat them. Like and I'm talking about, you put your 3 best men together at multiple times, and they just couldn't do it.
If I'm not mistaken, CM Punk fought a handicap match against the Shield and he won.
Probably.
If I'm not mistaken, CM Punk beat either was 2, I think it was Seth and Roman, or I think he beat all 3 of them in a handicap match. If I'm not mistaken, or I think it was like 2-on-1, no 2-on-3, or I think it was 1-on-3. But I believe he won. No, Superman stuff. I mean, but yeah, that the Superman angle does work in moments where it's necessary, because when you're getting tired of a bad guy, you're like, yo, when is somebody going to be the solution to this problem? And sometimes it works, but then it becomes, worn out when the guy who's always it's the Superman, it's literally called the Superman problem. Like in DC Comics, one of the struggling issues that Superman has as an issue as a character is that he's too strong. You know, he has heat ray vision, he has super cold breath, he has super speed, you know, he's bulletproof, he's super strong, he has all the best abilities you can ever give to somebody. And every time they make a foe, that goes up against Superman, it's like, well, Superman is almost equivalent to God. Like, how can this guy beat Superman? He can't beat Superman because he's Superman. Like, no one can beat him. You know what I mean? So it's like until you have Zod, who's just as who's a Kryptonian, just like Superman, with the same abilities because of the yellow sun, and he's equal to him in the power, and that's the only person who can literally give him a fight, or somebody else on the same level of strength. But that's what would have been the thing that would have helped John Cena's career if John Cena would have had more formidable foes.
Right.
You only like that's to me, it's like when I look at that's one of the things I look at that was different when I look. Let me not mention Hogan, but it, but again, I mean, I have great comparisons with him, but let me just stick to this though. It's just that if he would allowed Wade Barrett to win that title, him beating at Wade Barrett at WrestleMania would have been so much of a great moment for Cena, because it shows how he's able to bounce back from the odds versus, always having the odds look like small problems to him. Like the Nexus looked like a small problem for him. It was like, yeah, they were an obstacle, but he disposed of them very quickly in a few months. Same thing with him and Edge and Jericho. So, when you don't have formidable opponents or formidable rivals, it's not that interesting, you know. And even Austin had to recognize that. Which is one of the reasons why Triple H was built up to be such a strong heel. And when when Austin wouldn't allow Triple H to go over on him to win the title and they wound up having a triple threat match, him, Foley, and Triple H, and Triple H wound up beating Foley the next night on Raw. Austin had to realize that, because when he left, he comes back. It's like The Rock is not here. Don't have a dance partner. Don't have nobody else to feud with. Who else do I have? Okay, Triple H. And that's the reason why Triple H won the 3 stages of hell, was because Austin needed somebody else formidable, because it's getting boring. Him coming out, stun, drink some beer, throw his fingers up, leave. Stun, drink some beer. The character was getting stale, and we knew that. And The Rock, honestly, in retrospect, was more of an interesting character, because The Rock always had to overcome more opposition that pushed his abilities to another level.
Because he had to, because he was competing against Austin every night. So,
Right.
you gotta bring it and come, different every night. Because again,
Right.
during the Attitude Era, if you didn't bring it, you was gonna get overlooked.
Right. So while The Rock and Triple H are growing because they have opposition to deal with, Austin is at the top and he's not growing. He's just here coasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's coasting. But Triple H is growing, right? To the point where he's running NXT, now he's running WWE. The Rock is where he grows out of the business and now dominating Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You see how opposition can create a level of character and a level of problem solving, to where you now inherit new abilities that's beyond what you thought you could have had, because you still took on the role of solving another problem versus just being the person who just dominated and suppressed everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, if you're not staying sharp in retrospect, if you're not staying sharp, then you become dull after a while. And John Cena ran into that same problem, just like Austin. And he realized that. And that's why he had to put over other talent, because he's like, if I'm not putting over other talent and I don't have any opposition, then my matches are not entertaining. I'm not interesting.
Right.
I'm not interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So we have so real quick, I have just some articles. Not gonna go through all of them because we're close to the hour mark. So apparently, I don't know if you guys know that the word yeet cannot be used anymore by Jey Uso. If you notice,
yeah. So I kept hearing it, and I thought it was like a prank, or like, one of them, something like false news. But apparently, I guess it's actually real.
it's trademarked.
That's crazy.
So he can't use yeet anymore. They WWE put it on a t-shirt. They were trying to sell it. They sell it. They had to pull it off of the market because the word Yeet is trademark. They didn't know, and trademark was filed, and Yeet is no longer used.
Let me look and see if they took the shirts down. Let me see.
Uh, Dolph Ziggler. Actually, there's some news and rumors about Dolph Ziggler's return. Apparently, he's supposed to be fighting or having an independent match sometime in December with Matt Riddle. Him and Matt Riddle are going to be performing at an indie show, putting on an indie show since their departure from WWE, and putting on a match and putting together a match. And this is supposed to be Dolph Ziggler's returning match back to pro wrestling after his small sabbatical because it's non-complete cause. I really want him to take up that challenge against EC3. EC3 challenged Dolph Ziggler to a NWA title match, but I want Dolph Ziggler to take that match only in regards.
Oh yeah, they definitely took.
You said what?
I say that they definitely took the shirts off the website.
Yeah, they took it off. I definitely want Dolph Ziggler to win. I want him to win the title. He don't have to keep the title long. I just want him to win the title, just to give him that nod as being that guy that was overlooked. And then, the title can go back to EC3. The same thing they did with Cody.
So Cody, you,
mm-hmm.
Do you see anyone that got released making a return at the Rumble?
Who was released besides Dolph Ziggler?
We're not seeing Top Dollar, so we're not worried about that. But
Brodus Clay.
Ew. I think he officially retired.
Somebody call your mama. Somebody call my mama.
It would be so hilarious, and it would be so funny, but I know he would never do it.
Yeah. So there's a rumor going around that Sasha may return at the Rumble.
I've seen that. I'm saying, and I think that a lot of like I said, what I'm saying, like I said, being that Triple H is in charge of creative and he listens to the fans, I can see Sasha because her grievance was, what I'm saying, like creative was trash and a lot of things they were doing didn't make sense, and we even said it numerous times, like, why would you do that? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? So I can actually see her, potentially returning. I don't know how long Naomi's contract is with TNA, but
yeah,
I see her potentially trying to come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the crazy part about it, you bring Sasha and Naomi back, there's endless possibilities of matches that you can have. Now, on the flip side too, if you can see that Bayley's about to get kicked out of Damage Control. Like, they her like a stepchild. You know what I'm saying? So either they're going to kick her out or she's going to just leave or she's going to turn on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's going to need backup at some point.
And she's supposed to be the leader of Damage Control and being pushed out by Io Shirai, which is very funny.
It's like, no. Stay back here. So we're going to go out there and help, but you just stay back here.
Yeah, you just sit back here and don't do anything.
We're
gonna go out. Yeah, you watch. And she,
you know what I'm saying? Just make sure our luggage is next to the shower when we come back.
Right.
And just make sure
carry the bags to the hotel room. Right. make sure.
You know what I'm saying? Big reservations. You know what I'm saying? At the restaurant so we can go eat and then we're going to after.
Right. Make sure our pillows are fluffed in our beds when we get at the hotel room. So we have Lucifer 1, but 10% of it is fake. Are we talking about wrestling? Yeah, we know 10% is fake.
Yeah, we know.
We're talking about Lucifer. Jasmine S. Thomas. Hi, Jasmine. How you doing, Jasmine? So what was it? So she's gonna get pushed out. If I was Bayley, I would pull the trigger first.
Yeah, you have to.
I'll pull the trigger first. I'll just start wilding out on Io Shirai. Let him jump me, do whatever. kick me out, boom, and then I'm out. Whatever it is, what it is.
And then
Versus, yeah,
you're gonna go begging and crawling to Bianca like, yo, I need your help.
yeah. Right. So if you pull a trigger first, it gives her some sense of pride or self-respect because she knows that she's not accepted. She's like that tag. She's the tag along right now, right?
Yeah.
This is a former world champion, multiple world champion.
Long as Randy's
And multiple world champion. You know what I'm saying? Like who's a tag along now? Like totally disrespected. Hulk Hogan said that 90% of it is real, like the physical stuff and stunts. Yeah, we know. Yeah, it is real. Like, because the injuries are definitely real. Those sabbaticals, those leaves when they have to go out and get neck surgery, back surgery, arm surgery, stuff like that. Yeah, we know it's 100% real because what they do is pretty much stunts. And yeah, and sometimes those mistakes happen. Like Big E, he was injured. He's injured right now. Like Big E suffered a neck injury by taking a over the head, belly to belly from what is that guy named? The guy from Brawling Brute. But yeah, we definitely know that.
I can actually see Big E coming back at Rumble. I can see him being a surprise entrant.
I hope so. If he comes back, everybody go crazy. Everybody gonna go crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really want a lot of the fans to get off of this. I really want fans to stop drinking the CM Punk juice. I'm just kind of like, all right, yeah, all right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm over it. I'm over it right now. I'm over it. I like Punk, but I'm over it. I'm over it.
It's because he's new, he's exciting, he's controversial, and it's just like, all right, WWE has like another main guy, somebody who we know, you know what I'm saying, who didn't have to go through NXT for us to find out, or he wasn't in Indies, well, he was, but we know his WWE work. So it's like, all right, we got a guy who we know who it is, we know he brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're excited, because it's something new. Because anytime, like, and the thing about pro wrestling is you gotta always be something. You always gotta be different. You always gotta bring something new. You gotta bring some kind of excitement. And right now, Punk is that excitement. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you look at Randy. All right, cool. Randy came back, but like, how exciting would Randy be after a while? Because Randy's obviously he's not going to go back to that legend killer. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying, where he was a couple years ago. And right now he's babyface. I'm trying to take down the bloodline, and I remember who the reason why I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, Roman comes back next week. So
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, right. That's interesting. We know he's going to address Punk. Let's talk about this, right? Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, let me address that and then go back into Drew McIntyre a little bit. Yeah. No, he is exciting. But this is Randy Orton, Jay. This is Randy Orton. This is Randy Orton. This is the same Randy Orton who, during the pandemic, we had a Drew McIntyre who was stale. Right. And we have a main event, Randy Orton, right? Randy Orton's a main event player. And again, if you're a main event player, the reason why these guys are main event players is because at any given time, they know how to flip that switch and turn everybody up, right? And Randy showed that. Randy flipped that switch. He got hot. And he put the belt on him. He's Randy. He came back. He was like, Dominic, I want you to let mommy know that daddy's home.
Clearly.
Daddy's home, baby. Daddy's home. All right. Lucifer Wood says, before the show, sometimes they hide blood capsules or razors in their grip tape when they need to bleed. But Punk is kind of overrated, in my opinion, but he's still a GOAT. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Punk. I mean, I don't think Punk is overrated. I think he has overrated moments. I think sometimes people say some things. They'd be like, "Oh, that was amazing." I'm like, "That was good." It wasn't like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It was good. It wasn't like the greatest.
Right.
Drew McIntyre, right?
Mhm.
So Drew McIntyre says, now you caught when he addressed CM Punk, right, on Raw.
Mhm. I heard him.
So yeah. So, but yeah, that's something I forgot to mention. But yeah, to really get back to Randy, right? I think that's better. Just to talk about Randy. But Randy can flip that switch. Honestly, I was more excited for Randy Orton's return than I was about CM Punk. I was like, oh my God, he's here. And I'm like he's here. But then after him being here, I was like, all right, yeah, he's here. But this guy's toxic. Okay. Moving forward. It's like, all right. Yeah, he's here. Wow, CM Punk is here. Oh, that's a great surprise. Cool. But I'm like, hopefully he's not toxic. Honestly, I was more excited about Randy Orton's return than I was about CM Punk's, truth be told. I was more excited about that. More excited to see CM Punk return than I was about Randy. Randy than to see CM Punk. Truth be told. But we have what's the next pay per view?
Deadline tomorrow.
WWE. Is that NXT?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You got 2 Iron Survivor challenges. You have who else is fighting tomorrow? I'm getting tired of Dragon Lee.
Daddy's home.
like
Is it Dragon
like
Lee?
they're putting, because Wesley's hurt, so
Yeah.
Wesley's gonna be out for a couple months. So Dom, typical Dom faction says, "Hey, I guess I got the night off." Blah blah blah. So Rey Mysterio comes up and says, "Hey, you're not gonna have the night off. By the way, you are fighting tomorrow, and I'm gonna be in this man's corner. You're fighting Dragon Lee."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, another Dom versus Dragon Lee match. Whoop de doo. Like,
Whoop de doo.
yeah, it's like you know what I'm saying, he then came to the main roster and stuck up for Carlito when Carlito got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Then he fought Santos. Then he had another match against Santos tonight in the United States title tournament. Now he's fighting Dom again for the North American title. Like, stop using Dragon Lee all the time. Let's see somebody else.
Yeah.
You know
It was like that a feud with him and Cody. It was like, why is Cody feuding with this pipsqueak? Like, like, can we just have one match and move forward?
Yeah. So we got that match tomorrow. You have Ilya Dragunov versus Baron Corbin. Was it Alexis King versus Carmelo Hayes?
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Roxanne Perez is fighting Kiana James in a steel cage, and I think that's it. I think that's it as far as NXT.
So Lucifer One says the only thing I want to see is Randy RKO and Rhea, aka Mommy. Also, did you see her face when he came back? Absolutely. Daddy's home.
Yeah, but now the old.
Where's the third host? Is that Henry? HD. What's up, HD? Is that Henry Jaco? Where's Henry? Is it
probably? But yeah, like I said, now the old WWE, yeah, Rhea would have been RKO, but you know what I'm saying, it's the PG era, so
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I doubt they're gonna.
A fan of who? Dominic? He said I'm starting to be. He was right about Punk. Who's right about Punk? Unless you're talking about Drew. But I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I said, yeah. That's what I said.
Oh, Dominic. I was starting to become a fan of the third host. That's Henry.
Henry.
It's probably Henry. It's Henry. Henry trolling.
Yeah, I can see that being Henry. Not all the comments are making sense.
Yeah, HD. I mean, Henry last name is Jacob, but he probably signed it as somebody else with a last name.
Then him,
It is Henry. This is Henry.
he's saying that,
Right.
that the third host was he was right. Like, yeah,
Yeah, he was right, and he was like, he's a fan of the third host. Is Henry? Is Henry? Yeah, is Henry? We know, but yeah. So yeah, like you talk about like them just kind of like really just being done with Dominic feuding with like Dragon Lee. You said you were annoyed with
yeah,
Dragon Lee.
I'm so
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, I'm totally I'm over I'm definitely over Dragon Lee's feud with Dominic.
I'm
Dragon Lee's a great performer.
it's
I want
like anytime you and you know it's crazy, not to be racist or anything, but anytime that saying any Hispanic person, Mexican or whatever, has a Dragon Lee's always running to their feud or running to their aid. LWO, he's running to race aid to fight Santos, and running to Carlito's aid to fight Santos. He's running to to fight what's his name, Dominic, a second time for the North American title because
right.
and here we go again with Ray being in his corner again. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Uh,
like you can fight other people of other ethnicities.
yeah,
Like WWE, like WWE, just because they're Latino don't mean they all have to wrestle each other. Like, you know
right.
what I mean? like there are other people of other ethnicities that will give them great matches.
And
Um,
then even on NXT, like, okay, Wesley's hurt, but there's a ton of other people that could have got a title match,
yeah.
tomorrow instead of Dragon Lee.
Well, I haven't been watching NXT to really know who would get a title match. Lucifer One says, "How old are you are, if you don't mind me asking?" Uh, we'll rather not reveal that. Lucifer. Why am I calling this guy? I'm not calling you Lucifer. I'm gonna call you One. I don't like talking to Lucifer. HD. I don't have no interest in talking to Lucifer, the actual Lucifer. I'll call you One from now on. HD says my dad. Wait, sorry. I said my dad. My bad, guys. I was doing family Christmas stuff. Back on. I'll be back on soon.
No,
Yo,
no, no,
we waiting for you, Henry.
no.
Anytime, man. Don't drink too much eggnog.
But I do want some coquito, so I'm about to
Yeah. We
I'm
need
about
that. We need that coquito, baby. We need that coquito, baby.
to
Henry says facts. I'm tired of Latino on Latino violence. So yeah, it's like Dominic like I'm gonna be honest, I don't care that Dominic has the belt. I really don't care he has the belt. I think it's a good look for him though, and what they're trying to do with him and how they try to build on him. But it's definitely making the Judgment Day look strong. Rhea holding the World Heavyweights title, Dominic holding the North American title, Finn and Damian Priest holding the undisputed tag titles. It's definitely making them look
need
strong.
to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title to make it complete.
You said who?
We,
Who?
We need JD to beat Gunther to be the Intercontinental champion to make that faction complete.
Never happen. It will never. What they say? What they say? If he even dream, if he beating him up, he better wake up and apologize. That's nah.
Truth is
It
unofficial
won't happen.
day 2.
Is he really unofficial? I seen a post on Instagram. Is he like an unofficial member?
Yeah, I think they're trolling. Let me see. Let me see if I can try to send you the picture so you can post it. But I think they're trolling.
They probably gonna do something on Monday night with him. I can see JD and Finn tag team. I can see that too.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, I can see that. Bro, I'm not the real Lucifer. I named myself. I named my user Lucifer just because he's my favorite character from a TV show called Supernatural. Okay, no, I know you're not the real Lucifer, but I mean, just the idea of trying to talk to the real Lucifer. Or is it Austin?
Or you can
You
hit
ain't
it with,
talking to the devil, son. You need to talk to God. You need to pray. You need to talk to Jesus.
you got to go
You
with
need to pray.
current,
You need Jesus, boy. You talk
look,
about some Lucifer. You need Jesus, boy. You need...
current times, and is old, attitude
Yeah.
era. So you
Yeah.
got to go with the current. No.
Hell no. I'm not. This daggone rip off. His daggone rip off.
No.
No. Right. Oh my God, he's such a rip off of Austin, yo. No. Like, oh my God, man. HD says 24/7 title on Truth. That'd be funny if they put the title
What Jackson
here.
was in.
Yeah, they'll be complete with the 24/7 title on Truth. Yeah, that'd be interesting. You could just call me Angel. Laugh out loud. All right, I'm gonna call you Angel if that's what you like.
Well, honestly, if you think about it, in order for Truth to become the 24/7 champion, he got to beat what's her name? Nikki Cross.
She's the last champion. Oh God, when's the last time she even got a push?
Huh?
When's the last time she even got a push? Last time we seen Nikki Cross, with WWE TV, she was in a catatonic, very like she was like catatonic in the middle of the ring, just getting tossed out. Like she's just sitting there like she was like, "Oh my God."
So I see Alexa Bliss coming back at Rumble because I'm sure because he had a baby already, so she should be, you know what I'm saying, in tip top back.
I heard she might be retiring.
I can see that too, but if she doesn't retire, I could definitely see her coming back at Rumble.
Yeah.
Somebody else has had a baby too. I don't remember who, but Carmella probably will be back. Well, no, Carmella's had a baby. What was it? Weeks ago. So
didn't Scarlett have a baby?
Huh?
Didn't Scarlett have a baby? Karen Cross's wife?
Because she was there tonight. I don't think she had a baby because she. No, I don't think she had.
She was there for a while. Oh, okay. LA Knight says, I'm sorry, I said LA Knight. Henry Jacob says, LA Knight's 15 minutes of fame is over. Yeah. Well, CM Punk is back. I don't know. I mean, you know, the fans is eating it up right now. But one thing I definitely say right now is that we had a high. What'd you say?
But but again, it moves LA Knight to the second top baby face on SmackDown, where he kind of belongs. You know what I'm saying? So now on Raw, you'll have, because we don't know Punk signing the Raw, so you have Punk, Cody, Seth, and Jay all on you got the three of them that's going to be on Raw as the baby faces, and like you see LA Knight and
Randy and Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how many baby faces did you just name on Raw? You said Jay,
Punk,
Seth,
and Cody.
Jay, Punk, Seth, and Cody. Yeah. All right, so we about to end off, guys. It's 1:25. We are well over the hour mark. Henry says Cody over Punk on the face order. Yeah, definitely Cody over Punk.
It's in the pecking order of Raw is Cody is the top baby face. Then it's a scuffle between the other three, but Cody's definitely the top baby face on Raw.
I tell you this right now. If CM Punk beats Seth Rollins, CM Punk beats Roman, CM Punk beats if these three, I cannot get. I would definitely. I mean, I can't. I won't get mad at Punk, but we'll know. Like this is definitely all about just appeasing the fans. Versus story. But one thing I definitely will say is Triple H is holding true to story. So I don't think this will happen. But But these three things is if CM Punk beats Seth, if CM Punk beats Roman, definitely if he beats Roman, and if CM Punk beats I'm sorry, and if CM Punk wins a world title before Cody, I'm gonna be very, very pissed and very, very disappointed in the story.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So would
Yeah.
you feel the type of way?
Uh-huh.
Punk main events night 1 at Mania, Cody main events night 2.
Uh-huh.
Punk beats Seth for the belt, but then Cody on night 2 beats Roman. So technically, Punk would win a belt before Cody. Would you still feel away? Because technically,
Nah,
he
no,
wouldn't
no,
win.
no.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you why. Because Finn Balor,
Okay.
I don't like. I think Drew is corny, but even in just out of the simple fact that you could have given that opportunity to somebody who you can put a build on, who's going to give you more time in their youth. Like, even though Drew is like close to age with CM Punk, I just think it's that CM Punk already had high moments. CM Punk doesn't need a world title. If he does get a world title, cool. But he doesn't really need a world title. We can give, but that being given to Drew McIntyre, most of all, Finn Balor, even Jey, even giving the title to Jey, I feel like it would serve better
I
for a
don't think
better moment.
that much younger than Punk. You know what I'm saying? Because we kind of forget Finn is actually kind of older.
Finn is 40. If I'm not mistaken. I think Finn is out. I think Finn is 41.
42.
If I'm not mistaken. 40. He's 42. Yeah, he's older. So Finn is 42. Yeah, Finn
Punk's
at least.
Yeah, Punk's 45.
Yeah,
Finn's 42. So they're about the same age.
Yeah, before he retired, now he's 42. He only got 7 years, man. He about to be 50.
Yeah.
He needs at least one title reign. Just get him in one
I can see after
world title reign, yo. Just one.
After this whole Judgment Day thing is over, I can see them. I can see him having a belt for a little bit.
Yeah. One or two at least. Like even whatchamacallit at least got that. AJ Styles. AJ Styles was well in his 40s when he came to WWE. You know what I'm saying? I think he was like in his 40s or late 30s. But they was like, Vince seen the talent. He was like, all right, boom, put a title on him. You know what I'm saying? This guy's great in the ring, So it's just like, yo, at least get this guy one good title reign, just one. And I felt like it was perfect for him to have the world title on the Judgment Day. It was just, but I think one of the reasons why they didn't want to do it is because it would have been like, oh, we got too many heels with a world title. They wanted to balance it out and have Seth Rollins. But I could definitely see them probably pulling the trigger on Seth Rollins, on Finn Balor, or maybe even Damian Priest. Damian Priest might even win the world title. Because if Cody wins at WrestleMania, they're gonna probably want another heel to have the belt. They're probably gonna balance it like face and heel, face and heel. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. All right. We're at the 30-minute mark, hour and 30-minute mark. We thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream. If you guys are catching this replay, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. So whenever we go live, you guys get a notification. As soon as we post a live, you guys can tap on notify me when we go live. That notification will drop down on the top of the screen of your phone and notify you that we are going live, and you guys can join us live, comment on the conversations we have, even throw some topics or even questions at us, and we'll answer them, and hopefully these topics will segue us into an interesting conversation based on what's happening right now in WWE. And pretty much we want to definitely hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys think about what's happening now in WWE, the Drew McIntyre story, CM Punk's return, Jey Uso's character push, Roman Reigns returning to potentially talk to CM, confront CM Punk, and Randy Orton's return. All right, guys, join us next time as we go live. Signing off, I'm your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your boy, the protege, Jay McMahon.
And we will see you guys later. Peace.